The distance formula is used to find the distance between 2 points. So the distance from A to B. So this distance we'll call D. The formula is that D equals the square root of the difference of the x's, so x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. So you can memorize this formula and find the distance between any 2 points. Let's look at an example. Let's say that x1 is actually 1, and we'll say y1 is 2. Say x2 is 4, and y2 is 6. So the distance equals the square root of x2 minus x1, so 4 minus 1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, so 6 minus 2 squared. So the distance equals the square root of 4 minus 1 is 3 squared plus 6 minus 2 is 4 squared. So distance is the square root of 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16. So the distance is the square root of 25. So the distance is 5. So this distance here is 5. Okay, if you do not want to memorize this formula, there is another way of finding the distance between 2 points. And it's actually very similar to the formula. It's what the formula is based on. Okay, what we have is that the y-axis and the x-axis make a right angle. So if we were to make a line in the x direction parallel to the x-axis and make a line parallel to the y-axis, we could form a triangle with the right angle. Then we could actually use Pythagorean theorem. This distance here is the difference in the x's. So we have that this x value here is 1 and this x value is 4. So we have 4 minus 1. This side of the right triangle is 3. Okay, then we have this height here, or this side of the right triangle, is the difference in the y's. Here the y value is 2. Then up here, the y value is 6. So this distance here is 6 minus 2, or 4. So this side of the triangle is 4. So we use Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared will equal this distance squared. That's what this is based on. This is a squared plus b squared. So we have that the distance equals the square root of a squared plus b squared. This comes from the Pythagorean theorem. So this would be a, and this part would be b. So let's solve this using Pythagorean theorem. We just have that d squared equals 3 squared plus 4 squared. D squared equals 9 plus 16. D squared equals 25. So of course if d squared equals 25, we have to do square root, just like we did at this part, and we get that d is 5. So distance formula, you could memorize it, or you could make a triangle and use Pythagorean theorem.